Hello, and welcome to our podcast, Farm Stress Real Talk with Penn State Extension. My name is Ginger Fenton, and I am an educator in the Animal Systems Unit. We know that Penn State Extension has a lot of resources available in all 67 counties in the Commonwealth. The reason we are highlighting this specific area of extension today is to help farmers and producers find resources and tools to connect them to extension educators and their areas of expertise. I'm here today with Melanie Barkley and Samantha Gehrett, who are also part of the Animal Systems Unit with Penn State Extension. Welcome to both of you. Thank you very much for taking the time to talk with me today.
Happy to do that.
Can you please introduce yourself and tell us what topics your extension team covers and maybe what your area of expertise and role is within that team?
My name is Melanie Barkley, and I work in the Bedford County office. I serve on the livestock team, and in particular, we look at helping folks who are raising beef, sheep, goats, and hogs. And our team has a primary focus of looking at production efficiency. So, we may be helping producers deal with things such as basic management practices, reproduction, nutrition, health, mainly preventative type health practices, so that animals remain healthy, marketing, and financial management.
Thanks for having me, Ginger. My name's Samantha Gehrett, and I am a dairy educator. My area of specialty includes business management and biosecurity. So that's a pretty broad areas of topics that I cover. So in the business management, I've really been focusing on transition planning. So I assist producers who are wanting to transition to either the next generation, transfer or get out of dairy and go into another ag sector. So that's some of what I've really been focused on, as well as cash flows. So we help producers figure out what their expenses are and what their income is and what their milk price break even is. So what's that number that they have to get in order to break even? Additionally, on the biosecurity side, we have been focused on the high path AI and getting knowledge and educational resources out to producers on biosecurity. So whether that is washing your boots, making sure you have a visitor log, all of that goes into their biosecurity plan. And if high path AI and dairy comes to Pennsylvania, there are going to be rules and regulations that we have to follow in order to ship our producers' milk. As far as the team covers a wide range of topics, anywhere from feed management, precision dairy, calf and heifer management, milk quality, production management, agricultural engineering. The list goes on, and we'll get into more details as we go further along.
What are some of the main stressors that you see affecting your clientele in the ag community?
I see the changing markets as a big challenge. So this relates to livestock, feed commodities, and even interest rates for loans. So when we're looking at livestock, the prices can really vary throughout the year and from one year to the next, as do the feed commodities that they're using to supply the nutrition for these animals. So not having the ability to really manage those, for sure, that can be a challenge. And then if they need to apply for loans for additional working capital, and those increasing interest rates can be a real challenge.
So the number one stressor that I would say that we're seeing in the dairy industry is the fluctuation with our milk prices. We don't have one price that we can be guaranteed on. So being able to handle and deal with that price as it goes up and it goes down is a number one stressor I would say we're seeing in the dairy industry, as well as prices during those times for expenses such as feed costs. They don't respond as fast as the milk price. So you could have a low milk price and still be paying a very high feed price. So I would say that's a big factor. Another factor that is a stressor, I would say, is just them getting crops in on time or getting the best quality of crop that you can based on the weather. Because if it rains, you can't harvest, but your triticale might be ready and you're experiencing a whole bunch of rain, or you've got tons and tons of corn that need to come off, but it's super, super dry. So it's just the weather changes is a main factor, as well as that affects producers' stressors.
Yeah, I completely agree with that, Sam. That's the weather and financial stressors are two of the biggest ones I see as well. As a member of the Animal Systems Unit, how can your team help to support producers through the programs, the strategies, the tools that you can offer to them?
We offer a wide variety of help for producers. So anything from in-person workshops and field days. We often do some webinars through the winter. We offer a quarterly newsletter. And then we also offer some one-on-one assistance. So people can give us a call. They can contact us via email. And we're also available to go out and do farm visits to help people with their individual situations. We have our webinars available online, so you can sort through the different topics and then watch them at your leisure. We also have a lot of articles that are written that are available. So I focus on sheep and goat production, so you'll find a wide variety of articles, particularly on those topics.
So our team is made up of 17 full members. That includes faculty and educators based throughout the state of Pennsylvania. And we all come to the table or bring to the table a different set of resources, assets, things, areas that we were trained in to be able to help producers. Some example includes we can help with milk quality. So if you're having issues with somatic cells, having issues with milk production, we actually have a team of educators that come out to the farm and they put little computers on the milking units, and they can look at how the milking unit's going. They also observe producers and their ways that they are preparing the cows for milking. So there's that area. We also have another area, feeding assessments, nutrition, that we have educators that come out to assess how the length of your feed is impacting that rumen's availability, or the cow's rumen to be able to digest it. So that's just another example, as well as having on the other side, once the milk leaves the cow, we have educators such as Ginger that can come out and they help you with your value added resources. And so say you want to, or you're thinking about putting in on-farm creamery, well, Ginger can help you through some of those regulations and getting started to make sure that that's something you want to do. Additionally, we also have ag engineers that are on our team who say you want to expand your operation. You can bring Dan or John out and they can take a look at what your current facilities are and help guide you and give you suggestions on placement of barns, modifying your existing facilities as well. So we do a wide range of areas, from, like I said, all the way from milk quality to facility management. We can help with that.
Thanks, Sam. That was a good overview. I was just thinking of something else to add in. We also, in the Animal Systems Unit, work closely with the Veterinary Extension team. And I know Melanie on the livestock side and Sam on the dairy side, both we have had frequent interactions with that team, and they are available to assist us if there are herd health or animal health issues as well. We can call on the vets. Would you be willing to share a success story with our listeners of how your team was able to help a farmer meet a challenge that they were facing?
So I'll share an instance in working one-on-one with a sheep producer. So this producer was lambing in March and April, and the pastures got very dry, very short that summer. So he had some serious issues with internal parasites. So I worked with him on how he can mitigate that to prevent those animals getting the parasites. So what we did is we backed up the lambing to February, and then we changed the nutrition a bit so that he was providing some creep feed to these lambs, which increased their growth. So in comparing one year to the next, he was able to market his lambs earlier and at heavier weights. We also did some nutrition for his ewe flock. So the ewes were on feed to increase milk production. So we changed the grain ration for those ewes. And then with the ewe lambs, we were able to increase their growth for those replacement ewes so that they were large enough to breed as lambs to lamb at a year of age. So when we looked overall at the situation, he was able to market his lambs 6 months earlier the following year. They weighed about the same as the year before. They were valued at $1 more per pound because they had more muscling, they had better body condition, and being younger, that helped them also. If we look at that increased value of those lambs, as well as the feed savings, the value to that operation was about $10,000.
I think that's a wonderful example of a success story and of the value of extension programs. And also that indirect result of that, I'm sure that lessened his stress.
It did, definitely. So, he has continued that for this year and is able to market those lambs at a more appropriate time. And, they look great the last time I was out.
So coming from the business management side of things, we get called in a lot to assist the producer and if they want to expand. So before they bring John or Dan out to like actually really start talking about the building projects, they need to be able to see if they can afford those projects. A success story is we've had numerous producers call us out to their farms and they find out that either, yes, they can cash flow those payments to be able to add on, or no, they can't. And how can we readjust their current facility into being able to add more cows, that whatever their goal is, it may not look exactly how the idea started with, but at the end, hopefully we can assist and we've helped get the producers to be able to afford what they can afford.
And finally, how can our listeners learn more about the tools and support that your team can provide?
The first thing they could do is contact their local extension office, and that office should be able to connect them with an educator that is close to them. They should also be able to connect them with the educator with the specific expertise that they need. So if they're a sheep or goat producer, if they're raising hogs, or if they're a beef producer, that extension office should be able to direct them there. They can also go online at extension.psu.edu, and they can do a search simply with the name of the species. So beef, sheep, goats, swine. Or if they have more specific information they're looking for, they can type in some keywords to find that specific information for them.
They can contact any one of our dairy educators. Like I said, we have 17 members, including those up at University Park. I'd say lastly, we are on social media, so you can find us on social media.
Good point. And before we wrap up, I have one more thing to add. I'd also like to note that the Animal System Unit has a team that works with poultry producers and with equine producers as well. Melanie was from the livestock team, Sam's with the dairy team, but we are spread across species, so we can help in any area of animal systems.
We also have a new faculty member in canine welfare that can help as well. And she is out there and she's willing to come to your farm, your area, your kennel to offer welfare things.
Thank you, Melanie and Sam, for sharing with our listeners today. Make sure to tune in to future episodes where we'll continue conversations with extension professionals and other members of the agricultural community. If you would like more information on farm stress, visit the Penn State Extension website at extension.psu.edu.